I couldn't muster up the strength. I didn't want to. It's gonna rain on my head. Everybody out here gardening, I love it. Hello, welcome to your Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And today, y'all, we planting out. I don't know how much of this we're gonna get done because it did not say that it was supposed to rain until later today, but you got wind. It feels so good out here though. Like it feels really good out here. It's probably like 5 something. Baby, I had to take a nap. I got out here quite early this morning and then I had to take a nap. So I've been asleep for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. This morning though, I got up and I watered all of the green stalks deeply. Like I took all of the tops off. I watered each pocket and each top because we're getting very warm here already. I think today, before now, it was like 80 something degrees, which is not as hot as we are going to get. It's been real hot here. So I just wanted to make sure they were nice and moist. And now it is supposed to rain. But one thing I can tell you is green stalks don't get heavily watered when it rains. Not in my backyard. Like they don't get heavily watered unless it rains for quite a few days in a row or whatever. So with that being the case, I'm watching this bird disturb my straw. Anyway, I did that this morning and so they look really good. We're gonna start planting out. Oh, also nail cam. The color is beautiful. You know the color matches that raspberry planter, which by the way, I got my 3 tiers. I should call my daughter out here because she asked to buy something that cost $60 this morning. I let her. This is my soil. I'm gonna put some black cow in with the Burger BM6. And we moved the sink that we got from Yeeta Home to over here, right behind these green stalks because it's right by the door. I thought that was a perfect idea. I still need to put the table back, but right now it's still there for the seedlings, but we're gonna put the table back here. And I'm quite tiny, so I can make it through here and then the back door is right there to the kitchen. So I thought that was a great idea. And I found a spot for some more green stalks. Y'all, the way I'm set up, I'm gonna always find a spot for them. Anyway, they're gonna go right here. So these are the seedlings that we have left, and I still need to do the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse because we have garlic that will eventually come out, so there's still gonna be space in there. Oh, by the way, I took the plastic off the door. I think we are well past the need to have plastic on this door, and now I can see my pretty door for what I wanted it to be. So this is what we're gonna be looking at all summer long. I'm super excited. But what I was saying is I started harvesting the cabbage this morning. I put a picture on the screen. It looked so good in the inside. These are all heading up, so I'm leaving them in here because I want them to head up. But we'll have those 4 square feet of space to plant. It'll be more peppers and 1 basil in the middle of it. And then we need to take these onions out. That was something I was planning to do today, but what I want to make sure I get done today is the main garden planted out because we have so much rain forecasted. Is it gonna rain? I don't know, but we have so much rain forecasted. Perfect time to get planted. And then we have, once these start to become harvestable, like once they get ready to be harvested, then we'll need to plant this out too. But I feel very proud that this is all that we have, if that makes sense. Like I don't have a table full of seedlings. That's what I was trying to avoid this year, and I may have avoided it. Anyway, let's head out to the garden. Earlier today, I did go ahead and lay everything out where it's going to be planted. So these are tomatoes. They're all determinate varieties. I think these are Italian Romas, and there's 1 colonial over here. So we're gonna get those planted. These bags have already been amended. I feel good about it. We just gonna start dropping stuff in. Same thing over here. You got some basil down here too. Oh, that's what I was saying. I'm gonna put at least 2 or 3 basils over here as well. Maybe it'll help with pests. I really don't pay attention to that. I don't pay attention to like planting that way. It might help with pests, but also I want more basil. I want a lot of basil this year. With that being the case, I found out last year that I could plant a tomato and a basil in a bag together and they grow well. So that's what we're gonna do there. Pretty much the same thing here. These are tomatoes. These are determinate varieties. Then we also laid the peppers out. I have a bucket full of rabbit manure. As we are pulling out anything old in these bags, we're gonna be dropping rabbit manure and some granulated fertilizer down in the bags and planting all at the same time. Also got to get these back here done. Some of these are indeterminates, or actually Actually, I think all of these are indeterminate. Somewhere along the line, I lost the plot on just determinate, but we had indeterminates left, so that's great. I'll have more Cherokee purple. I tried to control myself this year, but now I don't have to because I had extra bags. Also, great whites. I think these are early girl hybrids. Back here, these are indeterminate, so San Marzano, and this says great white, but I don't think that it is. It might be. Oh, but San Marzano is indeterminate too, I believe. Down this middle section, you have more peppers right here, so we're going to do the same thing. Drop the rabbit manure down in it, some granulated fertilizer, keep it pushing. And then if you remember, I told you this trellis was going to house some indeterminate tomatoes, and they are right there too. So I lay everything out. So now all I got to do is go through, dig the hole, drop the plant in it. They've been laid out since earlier today, so I'm also very much hoping that I could get these in and it does rain, because they've been out of the shade and in the heat all day long and in the sun. So let's get started, y'all. Oh, I had to go get some gloves because these are brand new, but I like them. I thought the color was beautiful. And if you have been here for a while, you know I wear my nails for a whole month. So, oh, look at these gloves. Greenstalk sent them to me. I thought they were so pretty. And they cover your arms too. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work with them with the hands, but we're gonna try it. They are from Woman's Work, Strong Work Building a Gentle World. That's where they're from. I thought they were real cute. So we're gonna use these today. If I can work with them, cool. If I can't, I'm gonna put back on what I had. And of course, our hori knife, because we love the hori. We are going to do the tomatoes first because I could get those in the quickest, and then we will move on to the peppers. I think even if it starts raining, I'm gonna stay out here and get this stuff planted out. I might have to sit y'all up on the porch so you won't see me close up, but I know a lot of people said they wanted to see this process, so I'm going to share it. Oh yeah, look. Oh, and you can tighten them, I think. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've already put them on, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go. Oh yeah, they're getting dry. All right, so this one will have a basil in it too. This is an Italian Roma. It is super dry. It's also super tall. We're gonna pull the straw, because I have straw in all of these bags too, just to help hold in some of the moisture. So I'm gonna pull the straw off of these, and then I'm gonna dig a really deep hole in this bag. So as far down as I can go, and I'm doing this for one, because they say that you can get roots up and down the stem. That's gonna be number one. Number two, I'm doing it because my plant is already very tall, so it kind of shortens it a little bit for me. I'm gonna also pull off these lower leaves, and I can put them in the bag. I can drop them however I want to do it, but yeah, we're gonna pull those off because this is, yeah, nope, at least while I'm doing this. I'm gonna pull those off, and to avoid putting these gloves on and off, I'm gonna go get my little snips to snip those little leaves off. Look at those roots. Y'all know I'm always excited. Those roots look really good. All right, so we're gonna drop it down in here as deep as we could go, and then cover it back up. Just like that. And so we will start to tie these to the T-post, but not tonight. We do need to, and we're gonna make sure we get that done on a nice cool evening to make sure they stay trellised. These are determinate tomatoes, so we will not be pruning them or taking off any suckers or anything. So they're gonna be a little bit bushy in the space, but hopefully we can keep that under control. This one we're gonna plant with a basil, and I already pulled that middle part of the basil because it was trying to flower in this pot. It'll grow out 2 more branches and the basil will keep growing. And so I just moved my straw from bag to bag. These bags are kind of dry too, so the rain is needed. We haven't had a lot of rain. I think it rained for the first time a week or so ago, and that wasn't even a lot of rain. I'm hopeful that we get some rain tonight. Also, we seem to be missing a plant, and if that's the case, we don't love that. You got one in here. Yeah, we're missing an Italian Roma. Maybe I was seeing this in the pot, but we need another determinate. Let me see if I can find one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a basil. Oh no. Okay, so I found a Patio Choice Yellow. These were actually supposed to go in the green stock. I'm glad I missed that, because this looks like it's already too big to be in the, not too big to be in the green stock, but something I was gonna have to really trellis. I put like miniature varieties in there this year. I am hopeful that they give us some cherry tomatoes. These will be the only cherry tomatoes out here. It's a good thing I had an extra. We're gonna go ahead and drop these in. I plant pretty much all of my tomatoes in bags. I'm trying this year putting them in the beds because I haven't had a lot of success, but we're gonna try it, see how it goes. But I've always had a lot of success planting them in bags, and so that's what we are going to continue to do, but also trying it in the beds. Now that I think I have the beds under control as it relates to the soil in the beds, so I feel happy about that. All right, we're gonna drop a basil in this bag too. Last year we added basil pretty late. This year I wanted to add it at the same time because it did do well in the bags with the tomatoes. Everything has good root systems and I love that. And I'm putting them in the front, making sure the tomatoes are lined up because that's how we're gonna string them across the T-post. So the basil will go in the front, the tomato will go in the back. The good thing is if it's not that lined up, you can always move the bag if you need to make it somewhat line up to the tomato beside it. So, all right, y'all. I'm not putting anything extra in these bags right now because I did all of that when I amended the soil in the first place. I don't feel like I need to add anything. I will be fertilizing these with the Espoma Organics Grow that I got on sale last year from Tractor Supply. And that says, I want to say every 2 to 4 weeks on it. We'll see how it goes. It is an all-purpose fertilizer, very balanced, and it's a liquid, so it will be available to the plants immediately. And that's what I'm going for. I don't think that, oh, a worm, we love it. I don't think that we're gonna do any fish emulsion with these this year. The plants are pretty strong. They're not showing any signs of stress, so I don't think that they need it. If they do though, we do have it, and that's a plus. All right, let's go ahead and get that. Oh, did I put, nope, make sure I put my tags in so I know what's what. This is all Italian Roma and there's 1 colonial because I didn't have enough to do all 10 bags. Yeah, these plants are dry. They do come out of the pot easier if they're dry, so that's a plus. I'm gonna go ahead and take this bottom leaf off and put it right back in there. Can y'all see? I don't know. And we're gonna put the basil in the next one. So it's like every other one. Put this back. And if we need to, we have a lot of straw. So if we have any bags that don't have the amount of straw we think it should, we'll come back through like this one. Hardly has any straw in it. And so my plan with all of these tomatoes is to make sauces. Some of it I will freeze, some of it I will freeze dry. What I will be using soon, I'll freeze, and what I won't, I'll freeze dry. And then I'll make it into a powder. When I'm ready to use it, I can rehydrate it and make it into a sauce. So I feel comfortable with that. Now, what's in these bags is my unfinished compost, but a lot of it broke down. Once you get to digging, you can see that a lot of it broke down in the bags. We do like to see that. This should be a nice, fertile, nutritious bag for these tomatoes to grow in. Tomatoes are very heavy feeders. That's a good thing. You want your soil to be full of nutrition, and this is, like, we had chicken bedding, which included their manure. A lot of that was in the compost pile when I broke it down. Of course, table scraps were in there. There was a lot of things in there. I think they'll grow really well this year for sure. That's where I think I came out well with my cabbage this year in the greenhouse. That whole bed was made with basically unfinished compost, and it started to break down. And so when I say unfinished, it was not hot. The things had been sitting for a while, but everything hadn't broken down. It wasn't looking like soil yet, but it was very much nutritious for the cabbage. Very, very excited that I had that option, and I finally have successfully grown cabbage. So super happy about that. Like I said, I harvested one, but the rest of them also are heading up. So finally successful with cabbage, y'all. All right, I'm gonna put y'all in speed up mode and get to work. Okay, so the tomatoes I planted out, I'm about to show y'all, but I'm about to grab the rabbit manure real quick because it's definitely giving it's gonna rain. And I wanna show y'all how I'm going to do my bags. And if you don't have rabbit manure, bone meal, blood meal, compost, granulated fertilizer, whatever you have to feed your soil to make sure you put some of the nutrients back into your soil is good. It does not have to be rabbit manure. It's just what I have is what I want to use. Very excited to have it. I'm raising 2 rabbits in my my house in case you are new here. So me personally, I'm doing rabbit manure and granulated fertilizer. The fertilizer I'm about to show you is not anything that I like live by. I got it on sale at Home Depot last year. I think it was like $3 and some change. And so that's what I'm using. I do use organic, but you know, I don't think it has to be. It can be whatever you want it to be. Not married to it has to be organic. It's just what I like to use. So let me show you the tomatoes and basil. All right, so you have a tomato and a basil, tomato and a basil, tomato, and that's how it goes. And then back here, you have a tomato and basil and then a tomato. So it just kind of rotates from front to back. I know y'all probably can hear that thunder. It's what I'm trying to beat to show y'all, but I'm gonna still be out here as long as it's not lightning. We'll be outside. So our peppers are looking a little yellow, so we might hit these with a little bit, and I do a little bit of fish emulsion if in like the next week they don't look better. Just a little bit, because we're not fighting. We are not fighting aphids, and we don't want to start. So we're gonna pull some of this straw off. Pretty sure some of this straw came out of the bed that I'm sitting on. When I was planting out, I was trying to pull some of that straw off, but we save our straw around here too. This bag had 2 plants in it, I do believe, but they're coming out pretty easy. So they broke down a little bit on their own. I'm basically just pulling out the root ball, taking the straw off, and we're gonna make sure we get the root ball out. Then we're gonna fertilize. Now, the thing with this granulated fertilizer is it breaks down over time. So this is not gonna be available to the plant right now, and that's fine because we can fertilize with the liquid fertilizer and that will feed the plant. That's what we're gonna do. Soil is not too bad and it's actually quite moist. I had the sprinkler on the other day for a very long time. So this part got quite moistened. That's a plus. I don't leave the sprinkler on the other side that long because it's shaded. So it's not drying out nearly as fast as the bags right here. All right, there you have it. So we're just gonna drop. I don't do a lot of measuring, which if you're not new here, you already know that. Gotta take these off to open this. They are very nice gloves though. So I just do a handful and then maybe 2 handfuls of the rabbit manure. We have a whole bucket of rabbit manure, so we have a lot. We can be a little heavy-handed with the rabbit manure if we want to, because we have a whole bucket. I do want to put some in the new birdies beds, because I'm pretty sure when I set them up, I did not put any rabbit manure in them, because I don't think I had any, but I do now. Just like that, that's all we're gonna do. And rabbit manure is a cold manure, so you don't have to let it break down. So I'm just gonna drop a little bit more right down in that hole. Bone meal is a good idea for peppers too, but I'm not gonna do it because I'm adding the rabbit manure and stuff in. All right, yeah, these peppers were ready to get out this pot. It would have been time to put them in the 5-inch, and we all know I was not about to up pot all of these peppers. So thankfully, we're getting it out now. So I'm imagining my whole garden should be planted out by May the 1st. We won't start planting May the 1st this year. And I love that for me. Waiting for the beans to sprout because they're gonna go here. Sunflowers, things like that. For that stuff to sprout. And see, we got extra straw. We will put this in a box. I'll just like pile it up right here. And whatever we don't use, we'll put it in the box and we can come back around with it when we need it. But we don't throw it away. And with most of my other bags, I did the amending long before I dropped the plants in, but these bags, I just could not. I couldn't muster up the strength. I didn't want to. So we're doing it now. The reason why I do that, why I do it early, is so that for one, when it's time to plant, I don't have to sit and do this. I could just plant it out like I did with the tomatoes. And for two, the fertilizer will have broken down some, the granulated fertilizer, but it's okay. We're not gonna worry about it. You can also put the rabbit manure on the top. You don't have to bury it in the soil. I've seen people just put it right on the top and it'll break down on the top. I personally just choose to do it this way, but you don't have to. It's getting dark, y'all, and it's getting windy, but it's actually really beautiful. Y'all can't tell it, but like it's getting ready to rain out here. It's gonna rain on my head. I'm super excited to be getting this done though. Like it's summertime, y'all. I could probably put basil in these bags too, but I didn't, and they're already in like a spot that's kind of tight. I don't want to add more bushiness in this spot that's already tight, so we're not going to. I must have pulled the root ball out of that bag at some point because there was no root ball in that bag. It might have been one of the ones that died early that I didn't have to cut out, but most of it is pretty much broken down on its own, so that's a plus. Yeah, that's great. I don't know if it's because I cut it early and it had time to break down because there hasn't been things growing in this bag. If we hadn't had such a cold winter, things would have been growing all the way up until spring, and I would have been removing stuff. So with that being the case, I'm thinking it had time to break down. That's one thing I always say about my garden is I'm growing 365 days a year. And so things don't have time to break down, which is why I personally pull my root balls instead of letting them just sit and break down on their own. But this year I was able to do that and it did break down. That's a plus. So those roots went back into this soil to feed the soil. That's what they say. I've done no kind of testing or anything like that. So I honestly do not know. We're gonna be honest about it. All right. So nice out here. It was quite warm earlier, but I was still out here because I didn't stay like when it got super hot, but for a little while I was out here. And like I said, these are getting a little yellow, so we definitely want to make sure we pay attention and we get them fertilized in a good amount of time. About to put y'all in speed up mode. Be back. Hey y'all, so it is the next day, Sunday. I worked as much as I could, which was not that long in the rain. I went and put a coat on, you see it right there. It was like pouring down raining, but then it started lightning and I was like, no, we're not staying out here in the lightning. So it's the next day and it's actually only like 50 some degrees out here and it's overcast. It's a nice day to plant out. It's not gonna be too hot. It's not freezing. It's a little chilly to me if you ask me, but you already know how I do about that, how I feel about that. But we're gonna finish, get everything planted out today. That is my plan. And then hopefully Wednesday, we could do a garden tour of everything being planted out that I can have planted right now. Anyway, let me show you what I did get done. Again, it was not a lot. It started raining way earlier than they said it would. I probably would have waited to take a nap if I knew that it was gonna start raining that early, but it doesn't matter. So I showed y'all yesterday that I got these in, but you see, no transplant shock. I am gonna go back through and put some straw on it and then we need to get them tied up. But no transplant shock, everything looks good. Having rain right after you transplant is a really good thing. It really is. All right, so the other thing, we almost finished this row. The only reason why we didn't is because I didn't want the rabbit manure or the granulated fertilizer to get wet. So I was like, we'll just go to the stuff that doesn't need to be fertilized now. Oh no, this one broke. That's unfortunate. I should have put something beside it. I can just take this top part off and root it, but I will get another one and replant it. This was a great white, but I'm pretty sure I have another one. It rained really hard, so makes sense. Then we got like 2 Amish paste in. That's when the lightning started, and I was like, oh no, we have to go. So we about to get back on to this, y'all. That's all I got done. I didn't even call my daughter out here to start putting up the 2 new green stalks because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's about to like really start raining. That's what we about to do now. I'm gonna grab the rabbit manure and the granulated fertilizer, finish that row of peppers, and then we'll move on to finish the tomatoes. I grabbed that the way I did because it's basically double bucketed. I don't know. One of the buckets, like the inside bucket has holes in the bottom so that I can get the urine to come out, you know, if it's excess urine. And then the bucket at the bottom is where it will catch it. But if you hold it just by the top one, the bottom one sometimes falls off. So that's the reason why I was holding it like that. And our fertilizer, I'm pretty sure I did put the gloves back up on the porch. So I'm gonna grab those 2. And then we're gonna get back to work, y'all. We are gonna have some nights in the 40s. They'll be okay. But the thing is, even if I wait until May the 1st, our forecast still looks like it does right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plant it out. I already started. That's what we doing. We're doing this. I'm excited, y'all. I also need to feed the worm bins. I saved some of that Swiss chard that we harvested, and I'm gonna feed some of that to the worm bins as well. But I think right now we're gonna focus on getting this stuff planted out today, like so we could be done with this planting. Still have beans, still have sunflowers. There's still a few things. Oh, by the way, my glasses is broke, but I wear them in the house. It doesn't matter because I rarely wear my glasses out, and I just didn't put my contacts on. So let's get started, y'all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and finish the tomatoes and the basil. Did I only have 1 basil over here? Crazy work. I should have had more than 1. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. I'm pretty excited, y'all. Feeling so good. You know, like I've been in doctor's offices or just random places, and I'll hear people say like, I planted my garden, or I'll hear them talking about like the fact that they already have squash. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I never jump into the conversation because they don't be talking to me. But I do smile just a little bit because I'm like, everybody out here gardening, I love it. I was in the doctor's office the other day and the two ladies that were at the desk, they were talking about it. And I think one, she may have a greenhouse, I'm really not sure. Sorry about the dog barking. But yeah, she was talking about how, I think she was saying she already had squash growing. And I was like, how amazing for her. You're getting her an early harvest, which you need around here because we get squash vine boards, something terrible. These are, what did I say? San Marzanos. I'm saying that on camera so we know. Once I get everything planted out, like I told y'all yesterday, I'll go back. Any of this excess straw, we will just put it in a box and save it because we will end up needing it. And I can't remember exactly what all of the bags were amended with, but they were all amended already if I'm not amending them on this video. There's one basil in here. We'll have to come back through with basil. And I'll put that San Marzano here, but everything down this row is San Marzano. Puppy, no. Girl. Oh, there's a bee out here, even with it being chilly and wet right now. Out here buzzing around. All right. We'll fix that great white in a few. Not right now. I'm just trying to get everything planted out. So let's keep moving. We'll also have to come back and pick up all of the containers that are just everywhere. And that's okay too. This is what planting out looks like for me. And we'll just come back. Yeah, a lot of this stuff definitely broke down on its own. Good to see. I don't remember pulling anything out of here yesterday. Pretty sure it broke down all on its own. Fed the bag. The soil looks really good. Happy to see that. Oh, also what I started doing yesterday was putting the granulated fertilizer in, mixing that into the soil, and then just dropping the rabbit manure on the top and putting the straw over it. Seemed easier, and I know that you could do it. I was doing it as a way to kind of quickly get it done, but I think I'm just gonna do that now. It was easier. It is easier. My little tomato done broke, y'all. These are all grand bales. I think down this aisle with one California. We really had enough peppers because we got more that we can use for the greenhouse, and we had the type of peppers I wanted in the main garden too, not just peppers. I wanted bell peppers for the main garden, and that's what we were able to get out here. And I think we have a Morosky that's gonna go in the greenhouse and some more candy cane. That's all I'm doing with the rabbit manure now, and it goes right up under the straw. When it rains and it starts to break down, it'll start to move down into the soil. That pepper is done. I'm gonna move this over here because we only need this for the pepper, and then I'm gonna dump it into the other beds, whatever is left. The newer Birdie's beds, whatever is left. All right, on to the other tomatoes that go back here. These gloves are really wet from yesterday. I might go find another pair. They're like really wet. Oh, the ranunculus, one of them fell over. I'm gonna take that in the house with me. But one of the ranunculus fell over, but we got a bunch of blooms over there now. That's cool. Also, we must have had some seeds fall from a snapdragon, because there's a snapdragon in this bag. I'm gonna leave it. We had snapdragons planted back here, so the seed must have fell in this bag. We'll have us a pretty little snapdragon growing along with this tomato, and we'll take it. All right. Yeah, this soil looks really nice in these bags. I'm pretty sure my homemade compost from when I took the compost pile down was a part of what I used to fertilize these bags. You know, I'm looking at these tomatoes and I'm thinking we might go one more week before we start next year. I really don't want them to be this tall and this big when I put them in. We might go back one more week because I think we did them at 8 weeks this year. So maybe we'll do 7 or 6, or we might have did them at 6. So maybe we'll do them at 4. I'm not sure, but I really don't want them this tall. I have learned that tall is not always best. Big and tall is not always best. Now I do like that for my fall starts. Well, my spring starts. So my plants that I would normally grow in fall, but I also want to try to grow in spring, I found that it is good for them, but they don't really get tall. They just get stalky. These tomatoes, my tomatoes for the most part, they get tall. And so that one over there broke because we had rain and it was so tall. Kind of things I like to try to pay attention to now. You know, I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to pay attention to certain things. And like, I think we can start our tomatoes a little bit later next year. And I really don't think that that's going to, especially on an indeterminate, I don't think it's going to make a big difference as it relates to when I will get my harvest. That's just my personal thoughts that I'm saying out loud to y'all. We're going to try it and see what happens. I can tell you that, because these tomatoes are really tall. And I probably need to go through and get them on the Florida weave this evening, but we'll see if I have time to do that. They're not all as tall as that great white, so that's a plus. Also, I realized when I was editing, while we were short on determinate tomatoes, if y'all remember, the Supremos had a terrible germination rate, and then I never went back and started any more tomatoes, like a different variety. I just kept moving with what I had, and yeah, that's how we ended up with indeterminate tomatoes in the main garden. Because if you remember, they were only supposed to be in the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse, but it's okay. We're gonna be just fine. All right, moving right along. I think we're gonna put the basil. I already took the top off it. Look how tall that basil is. But I could really cut that basil down to right here, which I will, and it'll just be more bushy now. That works. That's an Italian leaf basil. That should be pretty. And I should take that basil in the house, but right now I'm focused. That little piece of basil is not going to make or break my season or my harvest. So I do like the fact that I'm just able to get things planted. Now that I know the greenhouses, well, the greenhouse is a good option for the fall, we might end up letting some spaces out here rest. We didn't do that a lot because these are kind of the only spaces we had, but it's not anymore. So maybe I need to think about letting some of the spaces out here rest over the winter. We shall see. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, like green magic for fall. I got a nice early harvest of those. Once it gets cool or cold, depending on what's going to happen this year, maybe we'll just let these spaces relax and rest for the next season and make it easier on me for planting the next time. We shall see. All right, what's that? That's a great white. These are both Cherokee purple early girls down there. It is chilly out here, y'all. Some sun would help it, but we don't have any sun. It's chilly out here, but the rain did help to moisten these bags. So listen, talk about growing in grow bags, since we out here just talking at this point while I plant. I really like growing in grow bags, right? But grow bags do dry out faster than other places that you plant. But just like any container is gonna dry out fast, and grow bags are no different. So people ask me all the time, like, do you find that you have to water your grow bags more often? Yes, I do. But I also find that I have to water a pot often. Like the pots that's over there in that area that's about to come out in that orchard area. When I was taking care of those, I had to water those more often. I have to water my green stalks more often. Now, do I find myself having to water like every day all year long? No. But once it starts to get really hot outside, like when we're in the high 90s for days at a time, yeah, I have to water more often. But I have to water the beds more often at that point because it's just hot and the soil is drying out. I have found that mulch works. It works on the beds, it works on the bags, it works on my green stalks. I use straw, but you can use whatever you want to use as mulch if it's going to help to hold the moisture in. So if you are in a space where you can't put out garden beds, or you don't want to put out garden beds, bags are a great option. So are green stalks, so are buckets, so are pots. Whatever you can grow in, it's a good idea, even if you got to do a little more work. And then people always say that I could put like little trays and stuff under the bags, and I did that when I had a small amount of citrus bags, and it worked really well. So that's an option too. I'm not going to do it over here because I have over 60 some bags, and I'm just not going to do it. Well, I take that back. If I could find something that I could source for $1 a piece, maybe I would, but not at $2 and $3. I don't want to do that. I can just water. I like water in my garden. So with that being the case, it doesn't seem like that much work to me. It do be hot sometimes. I don't want to say it doesn't. It's hot sometimes. I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to go in the house, but not because I don't want to water, because I'm hot. All right, on to the next row we go. Sorry that pole is in the way. I don't have lots of places to really put my camera where y'all can be level. and still be able to see. But I'm pretty sure we planted both of these together yesterday, but a lot of people said they wanted to be here for the whole process. So that's what I'm doing, bringing you along for the entire planting process and showing you what I do. Yeah, so much of this just broke down. Y'all, that's exciting for me because normally I am pulling a whole root ball out of here. And that's because, like I said, my garden doesn't really rest over here. But yeah, this is exciting. This was a whole, I'm pretty sure, pepper plant. Oh, no. These were broccoli plants. And you know, broccoli have massive root systems, but they all broke down over the winter, which makes perfect sense because this garden sat under ice and water and it was cold. So it makes sense that it would break down pretty quickly and easily during that time. We love that. So also, peppers need or would like warmer soil when you plant them out. I did not. When I say warmer, I want to say they say like 60 some degrees. I'm sure the soil in these bags are at least at 60. They say that they just like warmer temperatures at night and stuff. And I don't think that they don't. But what I do know is at this point, I just need to get everything planted because everything was looking kind of sad in their pots or in their trays. And I'm just not, I'm not potting up again. So yeah, they'll be fine. As long as we don't get a freeze, they may struggle a little bit, but they'll be fine when it's time for them to start growing. These are California Wonders.